Hello everyone, my name is Anita and I'm a native Russian speaker and I teach Russian to foreigners, and this video is my fourth video about Russian in Heated Rivalry. So the main purpose of my videos is to share that you cannot trust blindly to movies when you study languages. So in fact, Russian in this TV show is really great if to compare with other series, foreign series where Russian was mentioned and someone spoke Russian. But there are something wrong with phonetics, something wrong with how they formulate the sentences, so they do not sound naturally. So I don't say that Connor did something bad, because in fact he did a really great job. His pronunciation, like his Russian pronunciation and his English pronunciation, like in a Russian manner, is very cool. But like I have more questions for script writers, not for the actors. So yeah, I want to discuss in this video the episode number 2, where Ilya, like Connor's character, and his dad are speaking. So after he lost the game and so on and so forth. So I will discuss not all the phrases, but lots of them. So in fact, I guess maybe like 50% of the dialogue was okay, 50% of dialogue was a little bit weird, so the formulation of the phrases were not very natural. They sound odd to Russian native speakers. So let's listen.
Тебе надо подстричься.
The dad said, "Тебе надо постричься," and they translated it like, "You need a haircut." It's alright.
Да, отец.
And Ilya answered, "Да, отец." Also perfect short phrase, but they translate into English it as "yes, sir." So in fact, in Russian, sir is sir, is "да, sir," but no, he said "да, отец." Отец is father, so it's a little bit more formal way to say papa, dad. In fact, even many boys say about their dads not papa, but отец. So it's common, I guess, for girls to call their fathers, their dads as papa, and for boys like отец. And if to consider that his father is retired military person, so it's okay to say отец for sure, but not yes sir. He didn't say this. Let's watch further.
Министр все еще хочет с тобой встретиться сегодня вечером, невзирая ни на что.
He said, министр все еще хочет встретиться с тобой сегодня вечером, невзирая ни на что. Also a good Russian phrase, and the translation is good. You just should keep in mind that невзирая ни на что is a little bit formal way to say despite everything. So it's fine for him to use it. As I said, as far as I know, he is like retired military guy, officer. But невзирая ни на что, a little bit obsolete and really formal. So the normal, the neutral way is to say несмотря ни на что. And in fact, невзирая ни на что is from the verb взирать. So it's like to see, to look. And it's like obsolete version of смотреть. Смотреть is like to watch, to see. So несмотря ни на что, невзирая ни на что. The first option is like neutral one, default one, as we use now. Невзирая ни на что, more formal and a little bit obsolete. Let's watch further.
Это честь для меня.
Это честь для меня. And they translate it as it will be my honor. So это честь для меня, natural sentence, but it doesn't really match to the English translation. So это честь для меня is just a general statement, is just present form. So into English you can translate it as it is an honor for me. So I don't know why they translate it in another tense, because, for example, это честь для меня, yes, it's an honor for me. And if you translate the sentence, it will be my honor, it should be like это будет для меня честь. So both translations in both languages are okay, they just don't match.
Ты должно быть поощрён честью.
Ты должен быть поощрён честью. This phrase is the most weird, I think, even in the whole TV show. I needed, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes to proceed this sentence. Ты должен быть поощрён честью. So поощрять is something like encourage. So, for example, родители поощрили ребенка. So parents encourage their children. So they just, I don't know, rewarded the child with, I don't know, with some gifts, with something, because he or she wants something or for something good. So it just encourage, but like to reward because he or she did something good in the past. So поощрять. So it's like someone can поощрить тебя or поощрять тебя, you. And also, for example, if you use it in a passive voice, for example, you can say он был поощрён медалью. He was awarded a medal. So you can be awarded with something. For example, you can say, for example, он был поощрён честью. It's very weird, but if to think what does it mean, ты был поощрён честью, or ты должен быть поощрён честью. It means that you deserve such honor. So it's something like that. You've done something good, and ты должен быть поощрён. Должен is you should. So you should be encouraged. You should be awarded with this honor. But it's not the context. Yes. So the context is that Ilya lost the game, his team, and like he should be grateful to this minister for such honor. So I would translate into Russian. So you should be grateful for such an honor. Ты должен быть благодарен за такую честь. This would be like natural regarding the context and regarding the Russian syntax. So I guess I'm sure that поощрить is not the right verb here, because поощрять is that someone did something good in the past. And also ты должен быть поощрен честью, so it's something weird, because you can be поощрен медалью, some gift, so medal, gift, but честью something odd. So I guess you understood what I mean.
После вчерашнего?
После вчерашнего, after yesterday. So вчерашний is an adjective, like after yesterday game, for example. You can translate it in both variants, after yesterday. После вчера, so вчера is yesterday, or после вчерашнего. So вчерашнего is the genitive of вчерашний adjective. Both variants are okay, so it's natural.
Ты проиграл.
Ты проиграл, you lose. Correct?
Латвии.
Латвии. И он еще пьет.
И он еще пьет. And yet he drinks. Everything is good?
Как ты допустил до этого?
Как ты допустил до этого? So this is the second, the most weird phrase, I guess, in the whole TV show, because как ты допустил до этого, so how could you let that happen? So here they mix two verbs. Допустить, let, and опуститься до чего-нибудь, to lower the standards to something, to some boundary, to stoop to something. So they just mix two structures. So you either say, как ты допустил это, how could you let that happen? Even in English, like допустить, let, is transitive verb, which requires just direct object, without any prepositions, no до. So just direct object is the accusative case of the direct object. Как ты допустил это? How could you let that happen? Or you can say, как ты опустился до этого? How could you stoop to this? So even in English, stoop to this, so you need some preposition to say to this. So they just mix two syntax structures to two verbs. There is no sense in this sentence.
Тебе не стыдно?
Тебе не стыдно? And the translation is, how are you not ashamed? So тебе не стыдно is a natural sentence, but the translation doesn't match it. So тебе не стыдно is aren't you ashamed? So no how. If it would be how are you not ashamed, как тебе не стыдно? So the sense, the meaning is almost the same, but still, why did they translate it in not correct way?
Мне стыдно, отец.
Мне стыдно, отец. Here they use correctly, not sir, but father. I'm ashamed, father. Мне стыдно, отец. Everything is good.
Но не настолько.
Но не настолько. Here I have some questions to his pronunciation, because he lost the soft l. Но не настолько, he said. But not nearly enough. The translation is good. I'm not here to discuss the pronunciation. I have another video where I discuss the pronunciation, but of Connor pronunciation in his monologue in episode 5. So if you're interested, you can watch this video too. So then there was a dialogue and all the phrases are correct. So let's skip some phrases.
Всегда ищешь кого-то виноватым.
Всегда ищешь кого-то виноватым. So their translation is always looking for someone else to blame. So in fact here they again mixed two verbs, two structures. Because ищешь is from the verb искать, to look for. And it takes just direct object. So всегда ищешь кого-то. It's correct. So кого-то is like someone in the accusative case, in the direct object case. Like direct object case is accusative case. And then they use виноватым. Виноватым is instrumental case. Like it's a state. It's not like искать doesn't take anything of the state. It takes only direct object. You look for the guilty ones, for example, you can say in Russian, всегда ищешь виноватых. So the plural form. But here they just mix. Probably they wanted to say, they tried to apply the same structure that of the verb делать, like to make, to do. For example, всегда делаешь кого-то виноватым. And here it would be correct. So you always make someone else the one to blame. Even here you need to, like two structures. You make someone else. Ты всегда делаешь кого-то. You make someone else виноватым. And here you use instrumental case, like the second state, the one to blame. So делаешь кого-то, make someone else виноватым, the one to blame. So here, even in English, the verb to do, to make, takes two dependents. Someone else and the one to blame. And the same as in Russian. Всегда делаешь кого-то виноватым. You make from someone else. So this someone else, the temporary state is usually described with the instrumental case. But you can't use this structure with искать. Искать takes only one dependent. You can, for example, say it with two different parts of the sentences. Ты всегда ищешь кого сделать виноватым. So you can use here two verbs. Всегда ищешь кого сделать виноватым. So here you use искать, to look for, and also сделать in the second part of the phrase. And in the second part of the phrase you can use this сделать and use this dependent кого and виноватым. So make someone, like from someone else. So probably it was all that I wanted to say to you today. If you have any questions or some suggestions, please write in the comments. Again, Connor's Russian is really great, and in fact the Russian in this TV show is really great, but I just want you not to trust blindly to foreign media when you learn Russian, for example. So it was a pleasure to share with you some of my knowledge, and I try to make the videos almost every day. So if you're interested in such context and in other content, so I'm doing some Russian podcasts, so I'm just speaking about some daily stuff in Russian, or I also speak about Russian grammar in detail. You can subscribe not to miss another video. So thank you for watching this video. It was Anita with you. Bye bye.